Good morning.
Good
Hi,
morning.
everyone.
Dr. Liebert, would you like to begin?
Yeah. I think we can start.
We're
Good
ready.
morning, Dr. Douglas. Yes.
So I also wanted to recognize Dr. or soon to be Dr. Reza Vaughn, has joined us. We ran into each other in San Diego in January at the International Plant and Animal Genome Meeting. Reza, would you like to say something?
I would like to say thank you, Dr. Delas, for moving forward with this. And it was a pleasure to have a pleasant conversation with you. Um, Thank you. Thank you. And I know you'll be helpful to many of Cameroonians. So I hope this works well. Once again, looking forward to what you have.
All right, thank you. I want to introduce my associate director, Dr. Adnan Al-Rubaye. And Dr. Al-Rubaye, you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, of course. Good morning, everyone, or good evening. I think it's in your time. My name is Adnan Arabay. I'm assistant professor of poultry science here at the University of Arkansas, also associate director of the cell and molecular biology program. I'm also a product of the cell and molecular biology program. I finished my PhD in 2013. Sorry for my clock. Keep ringing. It's 8 o'clock. And I finished my PhD under Dr. Douglas Rhodes. Very nice to meet you all and looking forward to discussing opportunities here at the CMB program.
Thank you, Dr. Adnan. So my name's Douglas Rhodes. I'm a professor in the Department of Biological Sciences here at the University of Arkansas. I've been here for 35 years. I helped establish the cell and molecular biology program, and we are very happy to share the information about the cell and molecular biology program with you. And part of the reason why we are interested in talking to Cameroonian students is will become apparent as we get into the presentation about the program. We are recording this, so we will post it to YouTube and share the URL back with Dr. Liebert so that it can be shared with more students. We are happy to speak with you today because we want you to consider the cell and molecular biology program or the University of Arkansas graduate program for your graduate education. If you have questions, feel free to unmute and ask your questions at any time, or you can type them into chat and we will endeavor to answer them. So with that, let's get started. And Dr. Adnan, you can interrupt whenever you feel that you need to highlight anything. Dr. Adnan and I have traveled the world spreading the word about cell and molecular biology and getting more students interested in coming to the program. So with that, we will begin. If I can get, ah,
Okay. Okay.
let's see, pointer option.
Yeah.
These are,
So, Professor Douglas,
yes,
if I if I can just say something about the University of Yaounde one. So,
okay.
I'm Libert Bryce Tonfac. I'm associate professor in the Department of Plant Biology, Faculty of Science, the University of Yaoundé 1. The University of Yaoundé 1 is one of the 11 universities in Cameroon. It's a main one. It's the modern university, as we call it. And we are in the Department of Plant Biology. So we are interested on all that touches plant biotechnologies and environment. So many students who are here are in the laboratory of plant biotechnology environment. They are working in many different topics, either in environmental science or in crop production, crop improvement. So we have here many master students, many PhD students who already have masters. And then we have some students who have who obtained their masters and they are not yet involved in the PhD program. Since in Cameroon, the PhD program has been suspended since 3 years, about around 3 years, yes. So they are all interested in cell and molecular biology program. We are happy to, if we can have this collaboration with the University of Arkansas. So Raisa is one of our students who went to the US in under a collaboration with the University of Illinois for her PhD. And then she's currently our ambassador in the US. So if we can have a good collaboration with the University of Kansas with the cell and molecular biology program, it will be good for us. So that's what I can say to introduce. Sorry for my camera. My camera has problems, so I can't activate it. I don't know why. I will fix that later. So okay, that's what I can say for now.
All right. So let me see if I can get this slideshow started. Yeah, there we go. So the cell and molecular biology program is somewhat different than a standard degree program in that we are a cross-college interdepartmental graduate degree program. We offer the Master of Science degree and we offer the Doctor of Philosophy degree, although our major enrollment is in the Doctor of Philosophy. And I will cover that in more detail a little bit later. The program was created in 2000 as an effort amongst the faculty at the University of Arkansas to create the program, one that was not owned by any department, but was owned by the faculty. So in that respect, it's a lot more like a European degree program, owned by the faculty, made up of multiple different departments and across different colleges. And what we feel is that this program offers potential students and applicants many more opportunities than a standard degree program. And hopefully you will see the relevance of that. The current program consists of 115 faculty located in 19 departments in 4 colleges. And if you look, some of the programs that your students may be interested in, entomology and plant pathology, crop, soil, and environmental science, horticulture. We have a top 10 program in horticulture. And so you have access through this program to faculty in all of these departments so that you can find the best match for your educational needs and therefore get the best training that is fundamental to your future career. As I said, we were established in 2000. In 2008, even just after 8 years only after establishment, we were rated in the top 100 in the United States for cell and molecular biology programs. And that was in 2008. And then in 2013, Dr. Adnan joined the administration of the program, and he and I teamed up on increasing the enrollment, and we doubled the size of the program since 2013. What we are most happy about is that it's a highly diverse program made up of students from all around the world. Now, I have statistics on that coming up, but you can see here in this chart that the majority of our students are PhD students. We will take students into the PhD program who only have a bachelor's degree. There are a few master's degrees, but most of those are students who started in the PhD program and then, because of their own desires, switched to the master's program as a way of exiting the program. We do have a few international students also in the master's program because some of our scholarship students must get a master's degree first. But we would prefer that any applicants apply for the PhD program because that is what the faculty are most interested in taking on. What Dr. Adnan and I are very proud of is that we not only have the second largest international student enrollment, but 75% of our students are from foreign countries, representing 24 countries around the world. And you can see the graduate degrees per year, and with the yellow being PhD, the majority of our degrees are in the PhD program. We offer a very vibrant research community because we expect everybody to collaborate across the campus with different faculty and different departments. Grant funding has grown considerably. The yellow is the continuing grants, meaning multi-year grants, and the new is the gray. And this is in thousands of US dollars. So we are well into the millions of dollars, tens of millions of dollars. And over the last 20 years, the number of publications, including CEMB students as co-authors, has risen considerably. So all of our students are expected to publish their work in peer-reviewed journals. The most significant changes in the program, we've grown from 60 in 2013 to more than 100. Our current enrollment is 93 students, 85 are PhD, and we continue to be one of the largest PhD programs, if not the largest, year in and year out. So, what are the processes for applications and what sort of a support is provided to our students? That's what I hope to cover next. Dr. Adnan, would you like to put any words in first?
Certainly. So again, for the application process, again, since you're an international, there are on the website, we tried our best to put all the information out there. So we will share the website shortly. But going to the website itself, cell.uar.edu, and you go to applicants, you will find detailed description on how the application process will work. One important thing to keep in mind is that we ask students not to apply before they secure a faculty sponsor. I would say that this is the single most important step in the entire application process. You cannot be admitted unless if you have a faculty sponsor, because the faculty sponsor is the one who will provide you with an assistantship. The assistantship is simply the faculty member will pay the tuition, and then you will pay you a monthly stipend. This is important because again, the cost of tuition here is extremely expensive. So the faculty member will provide you what we call a tuition waiver. Basically they'll pay the tuition for you, and then also they'll pay you a monthly stipend. To help you secure a faculty sponsor, we do have a streamlined process that relies on you filling something that we call the applicant profile. Applicant profile is something that you simply tell the faculty member, what do you have, your experience, your background, what you want to do in the future, future career goals, the skills that you have. And then we do have around 120 professors in the program. Again, professors, we call them, of course, here faculty members. Some universities abroad call the faculty the college, but here, of course, faculty are professors. We do have around 120 faculty in the program, and we advise students to choose at least 10 faculty members, add them to the applicant profile. And why do we say 10 faculty members? Well, because we want you to expand your options. Sometimes, if you limit your options and choose only one faculty member, that faculty member may not have the funding or may not have the time or may not have the space to accept new students. So the focus is on you trying to expand your options, basically what we call you cast wider net, trying to choose more faculty members in hopes that one of them will accept you. One more thing that we advise students to do is, you know, after you go through the program website and look at faculty members, it's very important that you familiarize yourself with each faculty's research program. You cannot just simply copy an email and then send the same email to all faculty members. We highly recommend that you personalize your email. How would you do that? Well, you need to go to the faculty website and see what they are doing exactly and build your email toward that specific faculty member. If you want to email faculty A, you personalize your email toward their research background. If you want to email faculty B, then you personalize your email toward their background. One more thing that we always recommend is, again, not sending mass emails, because faculty sometimes talk, and then if you're, say, you're emailing a faculty member in one specialty and then another one in a different specialty, it means you're just desperately looking for a faculty member. That shouldn't be the case. You should always personalize your email to faculty members that match your research background and match your future career goal and interests. So you complete your applicant profile, you choose faculty members, you email those faculty members. Sometimes faculty are very busy, so they may not answer you. I would always recommend that, if you don't hear back from them in a week, send them a reminder email. But if you don't hear back from them again, it means they are not interested. So don't keep sending them emails because they are not going to answer. And again, this could be either that they don't have the funding, or they don't have the lab space, or they don't have the time to accept new students. But again, nearly all, or cannot say all, majority of students who are accepted into the graduate programs here in the US are paid by either faculty or somebody else's dime. There are international programs like Fulbright programs, and we do have certain students who apply to the Fulbright program and get accepted, and they go through the Fulbright route. There are other international organizations that provide, like, for example, there's the Ford Foundation program that provide also some funding. So you need to look either for a faculty sponsor or another funding agency that can help you, get the funding to complete your PhD. We usually accept applications throughout the year, but there are two main semesters. We have the fall semester and we have the spring semester. There are deadlines if you want to apply for the fall, and those deadlines are also posted on the website. What we like to share also is that the website is very well organized, but sometimes if you find it difficult in identifying, when is the deadline to apply for the fall, or when is the deadline to apply for the spring, you can always email Dr. Rhodes or myself, and we'll be more than happy to send you that information. One last thing, faculty sometimes would like to, you can send them a paperwork. The paperwork will show that you're really excellent in doing, for example, sequencing and, DNA extraction, RNA extraction, or next gene sequencing. But faculty may be interested in interviewing you. So you can also add to your email that I'm available if you would like to schedule a meeting time, on Teams or Zoom, then I'll be more than happy to meet with you. As I said, we made it easy by posting an email example for a student. So you can go to the website, and I'll be posting those links shortly into the chat. There is an email example for how to email a faculty sponsor. I see Dr. Ross also, thank you so much. You're trying to post those ones. So again, there is an email example, there is information for applicant, and there is also the list of faculty sponsors. Those are the three links that I would say the most important links for you at this stage, because the website has additional information for current students and other information. But for you, the link that specifies the information for applicants, and then the basic applicant profile, emailing a faculty member, and also the list of faculty sponsors or research faculty in the program. We do focus as a program mainly on PhD, not on masters. Faculty members usually are more interested in doctoral students because for masters, by the time you train master students, they are gone. It's like 2 years. For the PhD, you train them, and then, the success of every graduate students here depends on students writing and publishing and attending conferences and building social networks. So that's going to take time. That's why faculty are more interested in doctoral students, which is around 5 years. If you're good and you're publishing well, you can simply finish in 4 years and complete your PhD, and you should be done with your program. Dr. Ross, is there anything else you want me to explain?
I'm going to reiterate some of that and
Okay.
expand on a little bit in the next slides, but
Okay.
great job.
Okay.
So the real critical thing about finding a faculty sponsor is that faculty sponsor arranges for your assistantship and arranges for the tuition. The student only pays the student fees, which amount to about $400 or $500 a semester. But typically an assistantship is around $1,500 per month, although some of them are much higher than that. So all of our students in our program are on support. They don't pay for their education or their research. The faculty member does. And that's why it's the sole basis for us making an admissions offer is that a faculty member files the paperwork declaring their sponsorship for you and explaining to us how they are going to fund the research, the assistantship, and the tuition. So, and that can be very expensive. Typical expenses for a graduate student are between $10,000 to $20,000 a year in just research support. That faculty sponsor also will chair your advisory and examination committees as you progress through the program. So that faculty member is making a 4 to 5 year commitment to you to fund you, direct you, and mentor you. One of the key things that is difficult for applicants is identifying who they should and should not contact about being a sponsor. Oftentimes we get applicants who say, I found the faculty member that I want to work with. It's Dr. Kartik Balachandran because he's working on cardiovascular function and developing regenerative medicine. But just because you pick Dr. Balachandran doesn't mean Dr. Balachandran is going to pick you. We have 115 faculty in the program, and some faculty are very popular. They get lots of applicants applying for their program, and they can only take a few students at any one time. So what I like to encourage applicants to think about is what techniques in cell biology and molecular biology do you want to learn? Do you want to learn next generation sequencing? Do you want to learn RNA-seq? Do you want to learn confocal microscopy? Do you want to learn protein mass spectrometry? And what sorts of organisms do you want to work on? Do you want to work on plants? Do you want to work on bacteria? Do you want to work on animals? We have all those opportunities from genetics, genomics, bioinformatics, proteomics to cover molecules, microscopes, and advanced analysis with all sorts of mass spectrometry. So you should focus on what techniques you want to learn because you can then learn those techniques as part of your graduate degree and then choose to use those techniques after that on whatever organisms you want. I myself was trained in molecular genomics in mammalian cells. That was my PhD and postdoc. Now I work with Dr. Al-Rubaii on chicken diseases. But what I learned in mammalian cells, human cells, is directly applicable to working on chicken cells. And we work on bacteria that infect chickens. So I got very good at working with DNA and RNA, and now I can work on any organisms. I've worked on bears, tomatoes, chickens, fruit flies, turtles, snakes. They all have DNA in them. So focus less on the particular organism and topic that they're working on, and more on what sorts of techniques they will teach you in how to do modern research. It's very important that you be way ahead in making this application process, because what we really need you to do is, if you want to be going to the University of Arkansas and get into the cell and molecular biology program, if your goal was fall of 2026, or if your goal was fall of 2025, we have already been making offers. You should have started in fall of 2024. So the best strategy is to start talking to faculty about fall of 2026, maybe spring of 2025, because we do admit for spring as well as fall. But start about it. If you want to start at the University of Arkansas a year from now is when you need to be contacting faculty. You need to make multiple contacts. Don't do them one at a time. Be playing with 7 or 8 or 10 faculty that you are communicating with. And as Dr. Adnan said, you can secure a faculty sponsor before you even start the official application, because you have to pay $60 for the application fee. If you find a faculty sponsor, then you can actually, if they are adamant that they want to accept you, you can then ask them, can they arrange for the application fee, so that you don't even have to pay the application fee. That's why you need to find that faculty sponsor as soon as possible. What sorts of assistantships are available? The university has an enrollment currently of 33,000 students. Most of those are undergraduates. And so we hire a lot of graduate students as teaching assistants, which means that you would spend about 10 to 12 hours a week in a laboratory directing students in undergraduate courses. A number of departments have state-funded research assistantships, meaning they're funded by the state of Arkansas. Most of our faculty have research grants, and that research grant will pay for a research assistantship. And then the cell and molecular biology also has research assistantships, and faculty apply to the program to get an assistantship to award to an incoming or existing CEMB student. We also, due to the generosity of the Walton family, have supplemental fellowships that are available: the Doctoral Academy Fellowship and the Doctoral or Distinguished Doctoral Fellowship. And those are awarded to help us recruit the top-notch students from throughout the world or the United States. And those will add on to, a base stipend might be $21,000 to $25,000 per year, and the DAF and DDF can add $12,000 to $22,000 on top of that. So we do have graduate students that are earning $40,000 a year, and their tuition is paid. So a little bit more about the program. First of all, you may be asking, where the heck is Arkansas? And where's Fayetteville and why are we in Fayetteville? What's so good about Fayetteville? Because when you're choosing a graduate program, you also have to think about what's the cost of living, how receptive is that city, how easy is it to get to, and what are the recreational choices, what is the crime rate, because all those things need to be important. So the arrow points to the state of Arkansas. We are a rather small state of 3 million people. We are located in the southeast United States. The city of Fayetteville is about 85,000 people. We are located in what we call mountains that are about 1,000 feet in elevation, in a forested area with clear running streams, and most of the time it's really good weather. But right now it's raining and it's 3 degrees Celsius. I just checked, and you guys are at about 33 degrees Celsius. So there's a big difference. But Raisa also shared earlier that it's snowing where she is in Washington State. So we are a rapidly growing area in the United States. The city of Fayetteville has grown from 42,000 people in 1990 when I got here to now almost 100,000 people in 2024. The county around us has an additional 256,000 people, and Northwest Arkansas contains that this a two-county area has over 500,000 people. The city is somewhat old, established in 1829. As I said, we're located in the Ozark Mountains. We're very close to not only Missouri, but also Oklahoma. We average 218 days of sunshine per year, and we are listed as a humid subtropical climate, although it's not subtropical today. But typically, our low temperatures are around 10 to 15 degrees Celsius, and our high temperatures are around 37 degrees Celsius. But we do have 4 seasons. We have a full summer, fall, spring, and winter. We have a lower cost of living than the national average in the United States, so it is an affordable place to get a graduate degree. Fayetteville is ranked consistently among the 100 best places to live in, America's most livable cities, 10 low-cost locales with plentiful jobs, and number 4 among the country's best places for business and career. We have a campus that's located on rolling hills. We have 2 arboreta tree areas that are located here on campus, and we overlook the Ozark Mountains. We have some of the best outdoor amenities. As it says here, we have a number of hiking trails. We have over 30 miles of hiking trails, hiking and biking trails in the city of Fayetteville, and those are connected to the Razorback Greenway, the Mount Kessler Mountain Bike Course, and we also have a new art district developed through grants from philanthropists that is run by the university. The campus currently enrolls 33,000 students, representing all 50 states. We have 1,512 international students from 120 different countries. And because we are a land-grant college or land-grant university, we have 10 colleges spanning 210 different academic programs. And I think it's 120 different graduate degrees. More that just says we are rated very high. We are amongst the highest rated research institutions at the university in the United States. and our university endowment is over $1 billion. And what's most important for our students is that 100 million of that $1 billion supports the graduate school, which not only funds those fellowships I talked about earlier, but all of our students, all of our PhD students can get $1,200 per year to attend a national or international meeting. Every year they're in the program. There are very few universities that have that sort of benefit. We have numerous apartment complexes scattered around town. There are rental properties, houses, townhomes. But most important, we have a free bus system run by the university that travels throughout the city. So you do not have to have an automobile to get around in this town. The bus system services the mall, the major shopping centers, and all of the apartment complex, and they come directly to campus. We have more than 40 kilometers of hiking and biking trails, and all of those come to the campus. So the campus is the center of this town. It's very easy to get to Northwest Arkansas. We have a national airport that is connected to more than 14 major hubs around the United States. We are not international, but nationally, you can get to East Coast, West Coast, Southern, Southeast, all directly from our airport. And it's a new airport. It's 15 years old. We also have major highways that supply or connect into Fayetteville. And that lower left-hand picture is just one of the scenes driving south out of Fayetteville headed to Fort Smith. And it's not that far of a drive to major cities in the area. So as we like to say, the University of Arkansas is a great place to call home. Dr. Adnan is an example of that. He came here from Iraq on a Ministry of Higher Education and Scientific Research scholarship. He brought his family with him, and now he lives here, he has a job here, and he is a U.S. citizen. Anything you want to add to that, Dr. Al-Rubaii?
Yeah, just a few more words. Again, I think one of the main benefits of joining the cellular molecular biology program is that we're internationally oriented. There are not so many programs that I can say they are internationally oriented. We pride ourselves in supporting international students, regardless from wherever they come. We have a good support system in the program. Dr. Rhodes and myself, I would say, have experience interacting and dealing with students from all over the world. We visited so many countries. We try to build a very welcoming campus community here, and there is a good support system, not just by us, but also by the graduate school and international application. Cost of living, as Dr. Ross just highlighting a few things that I would like to reiterate, is that the cost of living here is very reasonable compared to big cities. The safety it's much safer. The availability of assistantships, especially for international students through faculty or through the Distinguished Academy Fellowships. The fact that you can travel to go to a conference per year uh, for the duration of your study. And I want to mention that I joined Dr. Rotz's lab in 2008, and I've been to 5 conferences with him. So, going to those conferences, you can build your social networks, present, learn how to, again, be confident when presenting. I actually use that in improving my presentation skills and eventually started teaching large classes here on campus. The class I teach is 475 students. And being from Iraq and English is not my first language, that was a major challenge. But, all the confidence I acquired from attending conferences, presenting in front of professors and, seniors in my field, like gave me all the confidence to continue and keep my confidence rising. And as Dr. Roth said, I decided to, after finishing, to stay here in Fayetteville and build my career and have really good support system here on campus. With this, I think we should turn it back to you guys to ask any questions. Thank you
I
for
just
taking
wanted
the
to,
time to listen to us.
I would like to add a couple things. Number one, Northwest Arkansas is an internationally mixed community because we have three major international companies that have their home offices here in Northwest Arkansas within 30 minutes of our campus. Tyson Foods, which is an international company that produces meat for human consumption. J.B. Hunt, which is the world's largest logistics company, and then a company known as Walmart. Their home offices are in Bentonville, Arkansas, and that is the largest retailer in the world. Those companies are focused on international business processes, and so we have people from all over the world that work at Walmart, J.B. Hunt, and Tyson Foods, and they all live in Northwest Arkansas as part of this community. So our community, unlike some U.S. communities, is very welcoming to internationals. So we are a melting pot, and that's why we are very proud of that and the fact that Northwest Arkansas is a destination for the world. I'd also like to say, since Dr. Adnan mentioned it, that we have students that come here on Fulbright fellowships. We are very proud of the fact that the Fulbright fellowships are named after Senator William J. Fulbright, who was the senator from Arkansas, and he grew up in Fayetteville and went to school on the Fayetteville campus, and before he went off into government work, was the president of the University of Arkansas. So my department, Biological Sciences, is in the J. William Fulbright College of Arts and Sciences, named after Senator Fulbright. So Dr. Adnan and I are very much in agreement with Dr. Fulbright, Senator Fulbright, that the world will be better off and more peaceful if we have international education, because it is through learning about people around the world that we will all get along much better. So with that, I'm going to go to the last slide, which is a QR code that gives you a link to a Google form, because you may not be interested in cell and molecular biology, you may be interested in a different degree, and this QR code takes you to a Google form that allows you to choose which degree programs you're interested in and when you want to start, and we will then get you the information that you need about those other programs. And with that, we're going to shut up and take any questions. So if you want to ask a question, just unmute and ask your question.
Once again, Dr. Douglas and Agna, thanks for your brilliant presentation and for the helpful slides to help incoming students on how to apply. I really appreciate it. Like, I had a very difficult PhD, and meeting with Dr. Douglas, I was very curious how he can help our Cameroonian students. And I'm very proud it turned out good, because I came here as a research scholar in the University of Yaounde 1. I'm Raisa Fon. I didn't introduce myself. Now I'm working as a bioinformatician with the USDA as a postdoc in Washington State University, even before completing the PhD. I have some couple of questions that's just a broad spectrum question, because at times it's really challenging. I've posted it in the chat box, if we can look into that, about the admission process and the strength of the application. Because most of the times I didn't find a challenge while applying for my PhD that much with rejections, But when I was looking for a postdoc position, I'm like, I had a lot of challenges with applications. So if you can answer some of those questions, I think that would be great. So thank you.
Okay, so starting off with in the admissions process and applications, what are the key components of a strong application for your program? That's a very good question because the person who will decide about the strength of your particular application is the potential faculty sponsor. How good of a fit are you for their research program? Meaning, what is your background training? What are your interests? And what are your career aspirations? That's why when we talked about that, you need to contact faculty and speak about what they are doing and how that interests you. And your goal should then be to work towards a virtual interview with them to speak further about the research and your goals and aspirations. Because that faculty member may not be as interested. Certainly, somebody comes in and they say on a 4-point scale, I have a 3.7 GPA, but they are not a good fit for that faculty member's research program. But if you come in and you say, I've been working with this crop, and I see you're working on this crop, say you're looking at Dr. Ainong Shi, who is a molecular genomicist here in our horticulture program. And he works on things like cowpea genomics, rice genomics. So he's going to decide who is the best fit for his program. We don't require the GRE. I forgot to mention that. It's not a requirement of this program because it is not a good tool for evaluating potential applicants. The person who's going to evaluate the applicant is that faculty member, and it's going to be less based on GPA or standardized test scores. It's going to be more about the preparation and drive that that particular applicant displays and how that person would fit in to their program. Once a faculty member chooses to sponsor an applicant, then that comes to Dr. Adnan and me to make sure that everything, all the paperwork is is there, and the funding is sufficiently documented, and then we approve it. So we don't take the best GPAs. We take the students who are, or the applicants who are the best fit for each faculty member. So now the question is, how heavily do you weigh research experience, publications, or work experience in admissions? Those are all things, again, that are important to individual faculty members. Research experience is not necessary, but it is an enhancement. Publications, I wouldn't say that's going to be a key thing, although presenting your work is. And work experience, anything that makes you better trained to join their research and enhance your research capabilities is going to be something that you would need to elaborate to that faculty sponsor to make yourself seem more attractive to the faculty member. Are there any flexibility options for application deadlines or requirements? If you go to our website, you will see that there are a number of deadlines. The first deadline passed in January for fall of 2025 because the CEMB program handed out their 12 fellowships for fall 2025 in January. But if a faculty member has their own grant money and they're waiting for the right applicant to come along, then if you contacted a faculty member and they said, great, I've got a grant, I'm going to pay your assistantship, then you only have to complete your application by July of 2025 so that you can get an admission offer in July for admission for the fall 2025 semester. So the faculty sponsor is the one who decides what the actual deadlines are. Other than the graduate school says, we're not going to admit anybody for the fall if it's after August 1st of 2025. Now, there are some complications on that because as international students, you have to get a visa. And with the current political climate in the United States, we can't predict how soon an international student can get a visa. It does make a difference, as we've unfortunately experienced, which country you're coming from. So if you're coming from Iran, it could take a year and a half. But we've had students from Nigeria that got their visa within a month. So, what are the most common reasons applicants are rejected? They don't have a faculty sponsor. We get a lot of we get some applicants who send in their application, pay the fee, and then expect a faculty member to pick them out of the pile. And that rarely happens. It takes legwork on the part of the applicant contacting faculty to find a faculty sponsor, to get that interview, to impress the faculty member. And therefore, the faculty member says, I want this applicant, and this is how I'm going to pay for it. So that the CEMB program only rejects those people who have not found a faculty sponsor. Now, I will add that we do get about 100 applications every year, and every year there are only about 20 that are accepted. But those 20 are accepted because faculty members are sponsoring. I hope that makes that clear. What percentage of applicants typically receive admissions offers? Well, I just covered that, about 20%. How important are standardized test scores? As I said, we no longer require the GRE. The university used to require us to do that, they required us to require the GRE. And we fought that and fought it because GRE is not a good evaluation mechanism, and it discriminates against international students, and it discriminates against women. That's accepted worldwide. And we didn't feel that it was in our best interest to require something that could cost several $100s to somebody who doesn't have that kind of money, or that has most international people don't have ready access to GRE exam facilities. So we fought against it, and finally the graduate school acquiesced and allowed us to drop the GRE requirement. Now, it is possible that a given faculty member could say, well, I want to see GRE scores before I'm going to admit this student. That's in the faculty member's purview, but the CEMB program does not use GRE scores. I will say we do have one requirement that the graduate school enforces, and that's that the minimum GPA for admission to the graduate school on a 4-point scale is 3.0. But if a particular faculty member finds somebody who, say, has a 2.8 GPA, but they are a perfect fit for their program, then we can apply for an exception to the graduate school to allow us to admit that student. And I have done that for a student who got a PhD with me. So,
Shall we talk about the English as well, Dr. Rhodes, as a standardized test for the IELTS and TOEFL?
yeah, why don't you do that?
Yes.
You're
So,
more knowledgeable about that than I am.
yeah, I did before. So, the only requirement for us as far as standardized testing is the English language. Any student who's coming from a country where English is not the native language, they are required to take the English language proficiency test. English language proficiency test, again, this is a university requirement, and you must either present the university with a minimum acceptable TOEFL, IELTS, IBT, or even Duolingo. Now they are actually accepting Duolingo again, or you will have to take English courses at one of the, so we're developing an English language program on campus, and you can enroll in the courses here. Minimum required English language proficiency are TOEFL, IBT, internet-based is 79, IELTS 6.5. And again, sometimes even with those minimum scores, you will have to take what we call an entry test. And based on that English test, then the university may ask you to take additional ELAC or English language courses here on campus.
Very good. So moving on with the questions from Raisa, what kind of research facilities and resources are available for students? Well, a lot. We have 4 campuses in Fayetteville that are owned by the University of Arkansas. So our facilities range from the greenhouses and the chicken farm and the cattle farm that are at the agricultural research park. We have the engineering research center. We have the Arkansas Technology Park, and we have the main campus. And the main campus houses both engineering, arts and sciences, which it would include biological sciences, chemistry, and physics, also animal science, poultry science, crop soil environmental science. We are a land grant institution, so the engineering and agriculture are a major component on our campus. So we are, as I said, we are ranked in the top 2% of research institutions in the United States for our research activity. And the beauty of the cell and molecular biology program is that it spans all of those colleges, all of those campuses, and that opens up a world of opportunity. For example, we have cell and molecular biology students that are part of a research project in electrical engineering that's focused on how do you make empty viral capsids for delivery of biologicals in medicine. And so cell and molecular biology students are involved in that for not only the chemical engineering side of how do you produce them and how do you purify them, but the electrical engineering side of how do you use lasers and other optics to detect which capsules have what contents in them. So most of our graduate students work in interdisciplinary teams, whether they're working with biochemists, engineers, or agricultural scientists to answer basic scientific questions. And what career support does the university provide for graduates? The graduate school has not only their own training programs and workshops. We have a career support center that's located in the Arkansas Union, the student union, which helps counsel on career support. And then we have the Cell and Molecular Biology seminar series where we have former students from the program who come back virtually to present how did they get their job and what is their job like after the degree program. So we try and offer a variety of different things that help with students for whether they want to go into academia or in industry or other alternative ways to use their degree program. So moving on, we have another question from I hope it's called Agendia. I want to find out about applications based on funding opportunities. Do we secure an admission and use it to find funding opportunities? For example, with Fulbright, or do we use our admission to seek the funding? All right, so we don't provide Fulbright fellowships. Although we have the Fulbright name on our campus, Fulbright fellowships are arranged through the home country, and each home country should have their own office that accepts and evaluates students for whether they can or cannot get a Fulbright fellowship. So I would encourage you to look in Cameroon for who runs the Fulbright office for Cameroon. Adnan, do you have any insight?
Actually, already on their website right now, and I'm just sharing the link, and it shows that there is a Fulbright foreign students and Fulbright teaching excellent in achievement, Herbert and Humphrey fellowship. There are actually multiple fellowships, not just the ones for completing graduate education, but also for faculty members at the university. So, I just shared the information. They need to contact the cultural attaché. I'm sure the university has an international relations office that can reach out to the U.S. Embassy, cultural attaché. In fact, the link I just shared, uh, there is a Fulbright Teaching Excellent and Achievement Notice of Training. That's an opportunity. Deadline is March 10th. But then all the opportunities, if you click at the top, each one of them will list the criteria and application deadlines. So just follow this link, I think.
Excellent. So to elaborate further on the question, do we secure an admission and use it to find funding opportunities? For example, Fulbright, do we use our admission to seek the funding, or we must already be accepted by the faculty sponsor and admitted? So the simple answer to that is you find a faculty sponsor and they find the money to pay you and pay your tuition. They might look at your credentials, and if you have a GPA of 3.5, then they might say, well, if you want to take the GRE and see how you do, then you may qualify for one of those doctoral academy fellowships or the distinguished doctoral fellowships. So this is a nuance. The people who gave us the money for those fellowships said they would require the GRE. It's not up to Cell and Molecular Biology. That was the people who donated the money. So at this time, we must honor that, and we would then say, you got a GPA. If you want to take the GRE, then you may qualify for one of these other fellowships, because then what the faculty member would do is say, I want this applicant to be considered for a DAF, and then we would take the GRE, we would take their CV, we would take their GPA, their transcript, and we would nominate them to the graduate school to see if the graduate school will award one of those additional fellowships. And as I said, that fellowship is on top of the assistantship that the faculty member would be providing. Does that make it clear enough? Certainly, for all of you, if you have further questions, then you've got that email cemb@uark.edu. That's an email address that Dr. Adnan and I share. And if something becomes confusing to you, you just email us, and I can guarantee you that within a few hours, one of us will answer you. Do we have other questions? I'm certain that there will be questions that come up in your mind. And again, if you're interested in other degree programs, use that QR code. If you want to find out more about the cell and molecular biology program, then you email cemb@uark.edu, and we have a very detailed email that we can send you that will help guide you through the website and reiterate a lot of the things that we've covered in this talk. And of course, as soon as I can get this processed and posted on YouTube, we will make the URL of it available to Dr. Liebert so he can share it.
Good. So thank you very much, guys, for the good talks and the good presentation. I'm sure more questions will come on by email. So we'll be listening to. I'll be listening to these students here. As I said, some of them are already well advanced in their PhD. Others are looking for PhD position. So I'm sure that you have many applications coming on in the next months. What I can just add also is that most of them here they speak mostly French, so they will also need to improve their English language, even if the GI is not requested. I think that maybe at the level of the embassy, they may need some score of the GRE. Not so, Raisa?
Yeah, I didn't come in with any English test because basically I'm from the English speaking region of Cameroon. So they didn't require me any English tests as a test of
Okay.
proficiency. But I'm sure from what Dr. Douglas said, Cameroonian students need a TOEFL.
Yeah.
And
TOEFL
yeah,
or Duolingo or IELTS.
yeah.
Yeah.
But those are the
So,
details we can work out.
all right.
Main thing is that you find a faculty sponsor, and then we can work on what do you need to have a formal application.
And then you need to insist that for the 2025, if somebody wants to be involved, he needs to rush up, right? And then it's most likely for the 2026 program.
But if you start looking for the fall of 2025 and you can't secure a faculty sponsor, then you can always defer to 2026.
Okay. So
So
we start.
they
Yeah.
will allow your application to stay in effect for 2 semesters.
Okay.
So the main thing is get to work on finding a faculty sponsor. And then we can worry about the business details of what needs to be in the application and what paperwork is necessary.
Yeah.
I should also add that we have a dedicated office on campus, the International Student and Scholars Office, that handles all of the visa paperwork, handles the acceptance or the arrival of students from international countries and helps connect them with their fellow countrymen or country persons that are in the community.
So it'd be good to have the contact of that service so that
Oh, you don't have to
uh,
worry. If once we offer admission, then they get in contact with the person.
okay, okay, that's great.
All right then. And again, we would love the opportunity to do this again in, say, September and invite more potential applicants because
Yes, I was thinking.
this was sort of the first time for us with Cameroon, and we want to continue this collaboration.
Okay, that's good. So I was thinking to involve some colleagues from the other universities in Cameroon and then the other research domains also, so that for the next meeting we can have people from other universities as well.
Excellent. Not that we don't want to give you first choice.
Yes,
All
the
right.
time was very short for this first meeting.
All right. Great. We look forward to working with you and we look forward to hearing from you. Everybody
Good.
enjoy their day. I'm going to see if I can get to the university and get my lab work started.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Douglas.
All right, I said thank you very much.
Do you
Thank you.
plan to go to the
Bye.
AGBT in Florida?
Thank you, Dr. Adnan. Thank you, Dr. Douglas. Thank you, everyone who attended the meeting. And then we have a good way to go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.